I'm going to demonstrate some of the basics of working with ShadowBox. I'm going to start by bringing the dog tool on the canvas. You can use any tool that you like, but the dog is going to make a few aspects of working with ShadowBox a bit more obvious. Just switching to a nice white material so everything's nice and easy to see. I'm going to expand the subtool palette and click on the ShadowBox button, and what this does is this replaces the dog tool with the ShadowBox tool. And it creates a mask from the initial dog shape, which is projected on each side of the ShadowBox tool. Now the mesh that you see in the center is created at the intersection of the three masks. Now I can clear these masks out of ShadowBox just by holding the control key and dragging on the canvas, and that essentially clears out ShadowBox and gives me a nice clean ShadowBox to start working with. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use ShadowBox to create a very simple couch. To make things more obvious, I'm going to bring in a custom texture that has labels for each of the sides of ShadowBox. I'm going to apply this to ShadowBox so it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. Now I'll hold the control key to bring up the masking pen, and I'm going to choose the rect style stroke type for the masking pen and draw out a masked rectangle on the back of ShadowBox. And as you can see, by drawing the mask on the back of ShadowBox, it's actually created a mesh in the center of ShadowBox. Now I'll draw another rectangle on the right side. And now I'm going to hold the Control and Alt key and cut away part of the mask, and this leaves me with sort of an L shape, and I can continue to trim my mask shape down using that. And now to create legs, I'm just going to extend the bottom of the mesh by drawing another mask. Now you'll notice that nothing happened. This is because the mesh at the center of ShadowBox is the intersection of the two masks, so I have to extend the mask on the back down to make the legs. Now as you can see, I have these leg shapes coming down. And I could just hold Control and Alt again to just cut away the middle part of the mask on the right side, and I will end up with the four legs for my couch. And there you have it. Now what I'd like to do is create some armrests, and from the right view I'm just going to draw another rectangular mask on the side. You can see that goes all the way through, and I'm going to hold Control and Alt and cut away the central part of the couch. And this is where I'm going to put the back cushion. So this is what I end up with. Now to make the back cushion, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate my ShadowBox tool. So I have a second ShadowBox tool. Now these are both still named dog, so I'm going to rename the top one couch, and I'll rename the second ShadowBox cushion. So that'll help me keep track of what's going on. And now I can select the couch ShadowBox tool and turn off the ShadowBox button, and now you see the mesh that I'm left with. So this is the basic part of my couch. Now if I turn on my cushion ShadowBox tool, I'm going to clear that one out, and I can still see my original couch tool in transparent mode at the center of ShadowBox. And now to make a cushion, I'll just draw out a simple rectangle on the right view, and then on the back view I'll draw another rectangle which will constrain the size to what I need for my cushion. And there I have my couch with a back cushion and armrests, and I'll turn off ShadowBox and transparency, and now you can see the completed couch. And that's the basics of working ShadowBox. Obviously you can come up with your own shapes that are much more complex than a couch, but this is just a simple demonstration to give an idea of how ShadowBox works.